I'd like to share with you my personal journey about this, which explains maybe why I really want to share this with you. First of all, I was raised in a family where all the women died of cancer: breast cancer, ovarian cancer, all the women's cancers. And when I got sick in 1999 and a guru, appeared in my life to help, that was my real turning point where I started understanding how the role of women had gotten so turned around. I personally love helping. I love loving people. But in my family, and in many, many, many families, that role turned into a servant's role. How to keep everyone happy, how to keep the peace, which is okay unless you die inside, unless it causes resentment and depression, which is what happened to me. And eventually I got so sick, there were points in my illness that I wasn't even sure I wanted to be here anymore. And that's when I knew I was really lying to myself, and that I had something wrong. Something was wrong, because I loved all these people. And what I found out was a lot of it was my definition of what a woman was and what it meant and what my role here was. The whole story is in my book, but that was really a beginning point for me. The next thing that happened is I discovered Tantra. Suddenly, for the first time, I understood what it really meant, to feel like a goddess. And I don't want to use that word much because it's overused and used in weird ways, but I actually felt that divine feminine power or strength or something that just made me feel so alive in ways that I had never felt before. And it wasn't just sex, it was a whole framework for understanding the world in a very different way than we'd been raised. And it was like every part of my being went, yes, this is what it means to be human. This is what it means to be feminine. This is what feminine even means. This is what masculine even means. And this is what divine union means. It was like I was just waiting for this new definition of the world so that things made sense to me again. The next thing that happened is I divorced my husband and my children moved on, and I was alone for the first time in my life, and I didn't like it at all. I was very depressed. It was a very hard time. But what I discovered was I actually found this amazing masculine and feminine balance inside of me. I realized that I had to find inside of me what I was seeking in a partner. And through many dark nights of the soul, I found it. I found it in this blissful celibacy. And not because I don't like sex, because it was actually because I liked sex too much. I was actually filling my bed or just desperately finding anyone to be that masculine side. And I had to release that for a while, become celibate, so I could actually find it within. And I did. And it was amazing. I actually found that incredible wholeness inside of me that now, when I'm in relationship, I get to maintain that wholeness. I get to maintain my truth in kindness, but always in truth, that I can't lie anymore. I can't pretend that something's okay because I don't need to be in the relationship. Not for any reason, and certainly not for my happiness. I have that on my own. So now I'm in total choice. And I don't know, everything's different, and relationships are so much more enjoyable and easy. And the final thing, and I have to tell you, the intimacy is what I always knew was possible deep in my heart. I didn't have sex until I was 20, and I was waiting for just this amazing sis boom ba, amazing thing, fireworks, and it didn't happen. And I would have like glimpses of it over the next 20 years. But then when I discovered Tantra, and I discovered what this true masculine feminine dynamic was, and I understood what my body was really made for, everything changed. And to be able to share that with other women, Because the funny thing is, it's good for the men to know, but we are the orgasm. We are Mother Earth. We are what the masculine acts upon. And when we know what's possible and we are solid and we are, I don't know, orgasmic all on our own, adding a partner to it just energizes the whole experience, and it's just amazing. So I'm really excited to share that with all of my sisters. So that's just a bit about my journey, and it continues. But I really am excited to share this with you. So I look forward to meeting you and getting to know you on the journey.